Faru Kibet kokochin kursit ofisaek chotok chebo sigisiet koboto kirwogik ak motosiek chotok chebo ripsetab kalyet koker kole kaimuch koib kakwautik chekimen chebo keker kele kakimuch kekirinda anan kakimuch keibchi kakwautik age tugul nekinyoru kokaistuldaen yautyonoton nebo nyerset ak baret nebo lakwet ne chepto neming'in.
Ile kitu inasikitisha ni kwamba eti watu wanaua watoto ya miaka 7 na wanawake ni wakubwa, wengi hawana mabwana. Wewe unaenda kuua mtoto ambaye hata ajui yeye ni msichana ama yeye ni nini. Shetani afanye namna gani? Bwana OCPD badala ya kung'ang'ana na maneno ya pombe, hii pombe dogo ndogo hii, niseme ama nisiseme? Badala ya kung'ang'ana na maneno ya pombe, sasa umepewa nafasi nyingine ya kupigana na wao watu mpaka wawekwe ndani ya sel. Wamama hoye, machiefs na madio na SEC, tunataka kusikia kutokea kesho OCPD, badala ya kuangamiza walevi kidogo ya pusa, angamiza hii wakora. Wamama hoye, shule hoye. Ni hivi ama sivyo? Hatuwezi kuwa tunajenga mashule ambaye tunakosa watoto shuleni. Yaani wewe mwanaume mzima, wewe umebarikiwa na kila kitu, wewe unaenda kunajizi watoto na kisha unaua watoto. Ashindwe ama asishindwe?
Yekistoenge noto chitab Kolenjin ko kandoindet nebo chamait notok nebo DCP nekirubeiwotab president nebo emoni nekimuch keistoen kandoinatet Rigathi Gachagua ko eng kasar age kakomuch komong ng'alalutik chekoromen mising chekakotokyi kandoindetab emoni Dr. President William Samoei Ruto. Kong'ololi en karonetab rani noto nekirubeiwotab president kandoindet nebo chamaitab DCP Rigathi Gachagua eng kasarta nekayai tuyet ak kandoik chebunu koning'otin ng'atutik notok nebo Westlands en nganaset nebo Nairobi en mengotenyi nemiten Wamunyoro en olimbo Nyeri kotorchisiet en kimnatet kot mising president nebo emoni en mwa kole en nguni kotestai koboisien chepkondok chebo motwet anan chebo konoraik chekikonde biikab emoni en SACCOs cheterter chebo emetab Kenya. Akot kunoton komwoe Rigathi Gachagua kole chepkondok cheite trillion agenge kotete koboisien serikali en kasuldaet nebo tetutik cheterter chebo emoni mising ko en teksosiek chotok chebo oratinwek. Kakomuch koyomis Rigathi Gachagua biikab emoni chotok chekinde konoraik en SACCOs kole wendi inendet koteleli en tai asikobit keker kele kakimuch kerib chepkondok choton amakiwech en serikalitab emoni. Kama kole en nguni koimuch konyor ng'uyondit nekim kot mising biikab emet yeikomuch konde konoraik en kibagengeit notok nebo anan en SACCOs ole kakomach kora kotuyosiek anan ministry notok netelechin kotuyosiek anan cooperatives koib kakwautik chebo korib chepkondok chebo biikab emoni.
Sasa amekula pesa yote ya Kenya imeisha. Sasa ile pesa anapangia ni 1.8 trillion savings ya wafanyikazi cooperative societies. Na ndio alikuwa ametuma hii Kindiki hii mtu anaitwa Soprano. Si ndio? Si mnajua hii Soprano? Si ni Bonoko? Kuna mtu alichagua yeye? Mnamjua yeye? Mko na haja na yeye? Sasa alituma hii Bonoko to test the waters. Ate hii pesa ya SACCOs wacha tuweke iende kwa infrastructure sijui nini. That is budgeted corruption. Mimi nataka kuambia wafanyikazi wa Kenya, William Ruto tayari has raided your payslip. Ameangaisha wafanyikazi. Ametoa pesa amepeleka NSSF anaibia huko. Amechukua ingine amepeleka housing anaibia huko. Sasa ile savings kidogo, the little savings Kenyan workers wameweka, the savings kidogo wakulima wameweka, anaipangia vile ataiba, aseme ati naenda kwa barabara. Mimi niambie wafanyikazi wa Kenya wajiandikishe kupiga kura, tufukuze hii mtu next year, because tusipomfukuza watakuwa kwa shida. I want to tell all members of SACCOs in Kenya to resist. We cannot allow William Ruto to touch the savings of Kenyan workers and farmers. Those savings must be protected, and I will lead from the front. We will not allow him. Yekistoenge ngalalet notok chitab Kolenjin nebo
DCP party leader noton ko Rigathi Gachagua kokakomuch president nebo emoni en karonetab rani noton ko president William Samoei Ruto kaimuch kondochi igorta noton nebo kinde siyet ak kekanapta koik ng'atutiet bilit noton nekimuch kisirto en National Assembly noton nebo kayumetab mogornotet nebo serikalitab emoni noton ko Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill nebo 2026 ole niton kokakomuch kokon katyaknatet nebo ketoi legut ne noton kewendi kiumen mogornotet nebo emoni kosibkei ak President William Samoei Ruto nekaimuch kong'alal en igorta nekatestai en kotab bororiot nemi nganasetab Nairobi komwa kole ng'atutioniton kowendi kokonu katyaknatet nebo kiker kele kakimuch kiyum chepkondok cheyamat en kasarta nekoi nekibendi keboisien en tetutik cheterter chekonoptoi tetutikab bandab tai en emoni kosibkei ak President William Samoei Ruto komwoe kole en nguni kotindoi boroindo noton neinegen emetab Kenya nebo konyorchigei chepkondok cheyamat chebo kisulda tetutik chebo teksosiek chebo komonut ak keistoengei yautik chotok anan tetutik chotok chebo ibet nebo rabinikab besenwogik kobun emotinwekab sang kaimuch koboiboenji president kakwautyonoton kakimuch koib bunge nebo emoni nebo kosirto bill noton po kayumetab mogornotetab serikali en mwa kole noton kora kowendi kotoreti emoni en kebeberta nemiten barak kot missing en kanaptaet nebo tetutik chebo bandab tai.
Today, Kenya changes again how it will preserve its wealth and its future. Today, we enshrine in law the institution that will ensure that the prosperity of those assets we create endures for generations, and that is the National Sovereign Wealth Fund. Let me state the principle plainly, because everything I say after this flows from it. If the National Infrastructure Fund builds the assets that grow our nation, the Sovereign Wealth Fund preserves and multiplies the wealth the assets create. 20 billion shillings of the money we raised under our National Infrastructure Fund to crowd in the balance of the money from the private sector. That is how innovation works in the transformation of a nation. That is why in our midst here, we have fund managers, we have different investors, we have banks who are looking at the opportunity, pension funds who are looking at the opportunity to invest in Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. That is what NIF is going to do. But Sovereign Wealth Fund will connect the investment we are making in Jomo Kenyatta to the future generations. Because apart from benefiting from resources that will come from our natural resources in oil and minerals, we will also be investing profits that come from investment in our very critical infrastructure like Jomo Kenyatta in the Sovereign Wealth Fund.
Ngalalet notok nebo President nebo emoni Dr. William Samoei Ruto kaimuch korob eunen kimnatet kot missing Ministry nebo Treasury noton ko John Mbadi kot missing kakoutik kotestai koib President nebo emoni nebo kotoi tetutik chebo kekanapta tetutikab bandab tai kaimuch kolos kot missing John Mbadi kakoutik nekibentai President William Ruto noton nebo ketoi legut notok nebo National Infrastructure Fund en mwa kole kikoib walet ako tindoi kayanet nekim kot missing kole leguniton bo mogornotet noton nebo serikalitab emoni kowendi kora konopto en kebeberta nemiten barak tetutik chebo komonut chebo bandab tai en emet komugul.
That are in the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill 2025 are informed by lessons that we have learned and best practices from other countries that have experienced significant economic progress by putting in place economic measures that deliver economic stability or stabilization and optimization of intergenerational transfers. We studied successful models just to give assurance to the public from jurisdictions including Norway, Singapore, which I cannot even forget, Saudi Arabia, Botswana in Africa, Nigeria, Kuwait, Qatar, among others. So, Your Excellency, the fund will address 3 critical imperatives. I don't want to repeat those 3 imperatives. I think we have spoken about them here during the panel discussion. I just want to mention that from a governance perspective, very robust governance framework has been inbuilt into these acts to ensure that its operations are fiscally prudent, subject to the Auditor General, Controller of Budget, Cabinet, and the National Assembly oversight, and guided by the National Treasury's financial assessment, thereby by reinforcing transparency and accountability.
Ngalalet noton nebo president chitab kolenjin ko lugala ko kakotoige rasmi urerioshek chotok chebo sugulishek chebo secondary chemiten en kebeberta notok nebo Rift Valley noton ko Kasam ne noton ko urerioshek cheterter chebo tamitab oeng ole chuton ko urerioshek kaimuch kotoige rasmi en county nebo Narok ole kaimuch komut en kibagenge timishek cheterter chebo sugulishekab secondary chebunu counties 14 en emoni ole kibendi kibelchingei tatolishek chotok cheterter akot kunoton ko urerioshek chuton ko bendi kotesetai agoi tarik 11 notok nebo arawani ako kisuldoen en kiwanjet notok nebo William Olentimama Stadium en agora kotesetai urerioshek chotok en sugulit notok nebo Narok High School alak en urerioshek chotok kotesetai en kiwanjet nebo William Olentimama ak sugulitab werik notok nebo Narok High ko boto ureriet notok nebo mbiretab keldo anan football urerioshek chotok chebo mbiretab eut anan volleyball netball basketball ko boto kora rugby sevens badminton table tennis agora komiten ureriet notok nebo lawn tennis agot kunoton ko kosibkei nebo ngecheret en kibagenge notok nebo netelelchin urerioshek chebo sugulishekab secondaries en Rift Valley noton nebo Kansa Patrick Kukenda ko kamwa kole en nguni kebourenchin en kebeberta nemiten parak kobeletab kei nemiten parak kot mising en kwen nebo sugulishek cheterter chetesetai en kiwanja notok.
I think we are delighted to be here at this Olentimama Stadium for our first regional match between a team from Baringo and Bomet. As a region, we are so happy in the manner in which this county has prepared for these championships. And I think this being the biggest championships we have in the country, bigger than even the country, we are really very excited to take on these games. Our games are of good standard. The team that wins at the regional level is most likely to win at the national level, as it has happened in the past. So our teams are very ready from all the counties, and we promise all our fans, the community in Narok, that we will entertain them in presenting our games. I think we will not have much to say as a county, but just to invite you, Governor, to watch our games. And thank you also for the support you have given to this hosting team. Today we witnessed one of the most colorful opening ceremony we've ever seen in the recent past, and that I think was our reason of coming to Narok. Thank you so much.
Buatitab kolenjin ile kipsomaninik chotok chebendi kobelishe en urerioshek chutok kobendi kotelelchin anan kiyokto kotelelchi anan emetab Kenya en urerioshek chotok cheterter chotok chebo Federation of East African School Sport Association FIESA netetat keyai en emet noton nebo anan keyai en nganaset noton nebo Morogoro en olimbo Tanzania en arawetab 8 notok nebo kenyini ako kaimuch koitar rubeiwotab governor nebo county nebo Narok noton ko Tamalinye koech kiwanjet notok nebo Olentimama Stadium asikobit kobourenchi akobo urerioshek chotok chetesetai en kiwanja noton akoyomis akobo ribset notok nemiten barak mising ko en kanaptaetab tetutikab kalyet koityi kipsomaninik ak konetik chemiten en kiwanja noton ak sugulit noton nebo Narok High School akot kunoton komwoe kole kora kibendi ketoreti en kokoitoet noton nebo konyoiset anan kerichek en kasarta nekaimuch kobit nguyondit noton nebo anan maget noton nebo tetutik chebo kerichek.
My name is Tamalinye Koech, the Deputy Governor of the Great County of Narok. I've come here to officially open the Rift Valley Region Secondary Schools and Association Sports They'll be here for 3 days, and we've just come to welcome them on behalf of the governor. We're happy that all 14 counties of Rift Valley have reported, and they're happy and they are ready to showcase their talents. We've just come to urge the students who've come here that many heroes that we currently have in this country was scouted or spotted through the sports or the school fields. We're happy that as a county we are very committed to supporting talents, to supporting sports. Of course, you know, we have what we call the Ntutu Cup, and as a team or as a county we are always happy to nurture the talents. We have provided enough security for them for the next 3 days. We have also provided for them the health services, and all the things that are required for this thing to be very smooth. We are very happy and we are going to support them. We know that this is going to be a peaceful games. It's going to be competitive and memorable for them. We wish them well and may God.
Chitab kalenjin kimakini chemiach urerenik na kipsomaninik chotok chebunu sugulishek chebo secondary cheterter chebunu counties taman ak ang'wan chebo emoni chemiach en urerioshek choton kakomuch kotoigei rasmi en kiwanjet notok nebo Olentimama Stadium ak sugulitab werik notok nebo Narok High. Ko chitab kalenjin ibwat ile logoiwek chu kaibwech en kibagenge kampunit notok netindo koyopto kerichek chotok chetoreti en chametabgei ak tililindo notok nebo kiagik. Ibwat ile IKEM Group of Companies ko kikotestai kokanapta tililindo en emetab Kenya kosubkei ak kerichek chotok chekimuch kechikil ak kisirto kiyan kele tindo kimnotet nemiten barak kot mising nebo kokanapta ana tililindo noton nebo kiagik. Kibwat ile en kasarta nekakanapta tililindo noton nebo kiagik kowendi konaptogei tuguk chotok chenyorunen anan kelchinoik chenyorunen kiagik, mising ko kamang'unet notok nebo chego ak kamang'unet kora notok nebo banyek chekororon. Ker ile kenyorchigei kerichek cheterter cheibun kampunit noton nebo IKEM Group of Companies asikobit ikanapte tuguk anan kelchinoik chebunu kiagikuk. Kigurenon Cynthia Terer, ka director nenyunet en Live Studio ko Alan Kibrono, ingetyingogeny en sait taman notok nebo koskolen.